What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got grading the 2022 Ravens draft 3 years later. Let's check this out.
I'm grading the Ravens 2022 draft class 3 years later. I started this regrade series about a week ago. I did the 2024 draft class that just passed, did the 2023 draft class, and now we're doing 2022 today.
2022 was a great draft class.
I do every draft class in Ravens history throughout this offseason. So that's what I'm doing. I made a playlist of the draft regrades, and you guys can just catch up if you haven't seen the other ones, and we're going to go through every draft class ever. Now, the older draft classes, we won't really ever have to redo again because those players' careers have finished and we kind of know how it played out. But these recent draft classes, I'll keep revisiting year after year to see how they progress or decline, since it's an ever-evolving thing. You know, anything could happen, and that pick doesn't end up working out like you thought it did in hindsight. So we'll see how it all plays out, but let's get into the Ravens 2022 draft class, which had 11 picks, by the way, very similar to this year's draft class, which we also have 11 picks. We
never really be trading our picks, bro.
2022. We don't have 6 fourth rounders this year, but the 2023 class that I just did, we only had 6 draft picks in that class. This was a lot more, 11 picks and 6 fourth rounders in this 2022 class. So let's dive in.
6 fourth rounders can go a long way.
At pick 14, the Ravens selected safety Kyle Hamilton.
I ain't gonna lie, I was low-key shocked he was still there at 14, bro. Like, I thought he was gonna go way before us, but we stuck and picked. Like, we never really trade up. You know, we only really trade back, but that has paid out so good for us over the last few years with Kyle Hamilton. You know what I'm saying? With Zay Flowers, Nate Wiggins, we stuck and picked, and you know what I'm saying, they just fell into our laps. Now, like, the only times we've really traded up, I feel like in the last, I'll say like last 6 years or so, you know what I'm saying, when we traded back up into the first round and pick up Lamar Jackson and Tyler Linderbaum in this draft class too, you know what I'm saying?
Kyle quickly,
like, we rarely trade up.
Versatile and impactful.
The only time we trade up is if we like really like a player.
16 games, started 5 of those, had 62 tackles.
They really want to take a chance on it, man. That's paid out. You know what I'm saying, with Lamar, Linderbaum,
among safeties in the league. And then in 2023, he became a full-time starter, earned first-team All-Pro honors, 81 tackles,
safety in the league,
3 sacks, and 4 interceptions. He made the Pro Bowl in 2024. He just continued to ascend this past year, is established himself as a cornerstone in this Ravens secondary, got voted in the Pro Bowl again this past year, and really showed his versatility. I think that was the biggest leap for Kyle Hamilton this year. Not that he couldn't do it, but he had to do it this year because we used to keep him in the box, move him around the line of scrimmage a lot, send him on blitzes.
The secondary was fried the first half of the season.
This past season with Marcus Williams and Eddie Jackson, and we were forced to move Kyle Hamilton back, so he was playing deep safety, and he thrived there too. I mean, quarterbacks were not throwing his way. So Kyle Hamilton can play anywhere on the field. I swear he could be an elite pass rusher too if he wants to be. So Kyle Hamilton is arguably one of the best Ravens players on this team, and
I gotta get a Kyle Hamilton jersey, bro.
He shouldn't have slipped to 14. A lot of the mock drafts had him going in the top 10, some at like 5.
Yeah, that's why I was very shocked he fell to 14.
The Ravens obviously went best player available at the time.
I think in this draft class, wasn't this the draft class that Thibodeau was in? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I wanted Kayvon Thibodeau so bad. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I wanted him so bad. Pause.
Chuck Clark. But looking back on that, it's like, thank God we drafted Kyle Hamilton. That's why best player available usually works out. Even if you don't need that position right now, you know, shortly in the next year or two, you do need that position. And freaks like Kyle Hamilton just don't come around very often.
Facts.
So I said in the previous draft classes, I wasn't handing out A+s to young guys early in their career just because I wanted to let them establish themselves. But Kyle Hamilton is an A+.
Facts.
I mean, it's hard to debate this. Kyle Hamilton is about to get a record-setting safety contract, whether it be this offseason or next, but he's going to be in Baltimore for a long time.
Yes, sir. We're not letting him go.
Arguably the Ravens' best player on defense. Kyle Hamilton, A+. Moving on to the Ravens' second first-round pick. They had 2 first-round picks because they traded Hollywood Brown. And ended up
I had mixed opinions about that. I'm not gonna lie, bro, because I was worried heading into the season because like the only receiver we had that like, you know what I'm saying, we had like what was Bateman that year, you know what I'm saying, that I felt comfortable with, being on the roster. Other than that, I ain't really feel too comfortable,
Number
bro.
25 from the Arizona Cardinals, which they used to draft Tyler Linderbaum, center from Iowa. Linderbaum stepped in as the starting center immediately in 2022, played all 17 games, earned a PFF grade of 74.7, which was sixth among centers. He pretty much immediately became a staple of this offensive line. He got a Pro Bowl nod in 2023. Just like Kyle, he made the Pro Bowl in 2023, 2024, and is now widely regarded as one of the league's top centers. This was another pick that really worked out. The Ravens needed a center bad. And by trading Hollywood Brown, getting a first-round pick, which sounds kind of crazy now. I mean, we drafted Hollywood in the first round, and then we're able to trade him a few years later for a first-round pick and just kind of recoup and replace that pick as he wanted out.
Team to team. To the Cardinals now.
I don't think he can get anywhere close to a first-round pick anymore. Since he's left the Ravens, his value has went way down. No knock on Hollywood. I like Hollywood. I'm just saying, what a move for the Ravens to be able to make that trade and get another first-round pick.
And a big reason to that was because of Kyler Murray.
And we turned that first-round pick into Tyler Linderbaum. This was an incredible draft pick. Tyler Linderbaum is another guy like Kyle Hamilton that is about to get an extension. I think he's going to be the Ravens center for a long, long time and is a staple on this offensive line. This draft pick is also an A+.
Yes,
I'm not handing out A+ lightly. I didn't give one to Zay Flowers or Nate Wiggins yet, and they are great draft picks and are probably on their way to earn an A+. But I think we've seen enough of Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Linderbaum at this point to know these are home run picks, man. These are franchise-changing picks.
Facts.
Tyler Linderbaum is going to be the starting center for a decade. Same with Kyle Hamilton. Like, these are incredible draft picks. And with these two first-round picks, I feel like Eric DeCosta knocked it out of the park. So A+ for both. Moving on to the second round pick 45, the Ravens drafted David Ojabo, outside linebacker.
At the time of this pick, I was so happy because I was really starting to learn about David Ojabo, you know what I'm saying, because of Aiden Hutchinson. Bro, I was happy as hell when we drafted him. But oh my gosh, has he been trash, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he struggled to stay healthy, but when he's been on the field, he hasn't really done anything. He's had, 2 or 3 sacks in the last couple years, bro, with, 2 forced fumbles. Hasn't really done anything, bro. I hope this year he has a breakout season. I just, man, and it's, kind of hard to grade this pick because of injuries. Oh man, I'm gonna go like a C-, bro. I'm gonna go a C- or a D+. Like it's no in between on that, bro. Like, it's got to be either one of those.
Now, Jabo's career was delayed by a torn Achilles.
Yeah, and that's a big reason why he fell.
He did end up playing at the very end of his rookie season in 2022. He played in 2 games. He had 3 tackles and 1 sack. And then in 2023, he played 5 games, 6 tackles, 1 sack, was limited due to a knee injury. And then last year in 2024, that was the year everyone was expecting Ojabo to take a leap and become,
this is the final year of his deal. So if he want to be a Raven, you know what I'm saying, his whole career, he better step up this year, bro. I'm not playing.
Pressure for us. He appeared in 11 games off the bench, kind of in a rotation, not playing a ton, was also a healthy scratch multiple games. He ended up with 15 tackles and 2 sacks. He showed flashes of being a great pass rusher, but he's still working towards that breakout role. He's really still working on just getting on the field consistently. I wouldn't even say breaking out. Like, I expected him to be on the field a lot last year, and the fact that he was healthy, inactive multiple weeks tells you a lot. The coaches are not confident in him, and he has pass rush ability. He's also one that's newer to football, like Odafe Oweh was. Hasn't played football a lot of his life. Came into football later in life. And
it took Oweh with 3 seasons to finally find himself. It's about to be what, year 4 for him now? For Ojabo, he better step up, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He better step up.
As a first-round pick, a top 15 first-round pick before that Achilles tear, and I think he has a lot of natural pass rush ability. He has some skills.
And I think that
but he's
that
gotta
Achilles
put it all
tear really
together.
messed
This
him up a
year
little
is
bit.
the
I'm not
year,
gonna lie.
man. Like,
It probably
I don't
ruined
even
his
know if he'd be on this
confidence.
team moving forward if he doesn't break out this season. So as of now, this second round pick hasn't panned out much. I was shocked last year when Ajabo didn't really earn more playing time and didn't break out. So we'll see what happens this year. I don't want to trash this pick completely yet, but it's headed that way. So for now, I'm going to give this pick a C minus.
That's that's what I was turning towards too,
A
bro.
D or a D plus. I think it's headed in that direction.
Yeah.
But we'll see how this offseason goes. He's still a very young player. He didn't play much in 2022. He's basically got 2 seasons under his belt. Let's see in this 3rd season if he can really step up and become the player that we know he can be. Moving on to the 3rd round at pick 76, the Ravens took Travis Jones.
Travis Jones, hey, I ain't gonna lie, this like around like the bees, bro. Travis Jones is so underrated, bro. He's just a big space eater
in the 3rd round.
And he can rush the passer at times as well.
Played in all 17 games, had 24 tackles and 1 sack. In 2023, he got even more playing time, played in 15 games, had 36 tackles, 2.5 sacks. And in 2024, this past year, he's a pretty key part of this defensive line. Played 15 games, 40 tackles, 3 sacks, was battling an ankle injury for most of this season, and was just grinding through it. Travis Jones is kind of a freak, man. He's got insane strength, ability to just claw holes, elite in run defending, and he's getting better and better at rushing the passer. He's got a lot of push from that.
I got a lot of faith in Travis Jones, bro.
Wreck a lot of
him and Beeks, bro. They're gonna be a formidable
especially for being
defensive tackle duo for like the next few
this
years.
Season is set to explode, man. I think he is going to break out, have better numbers than he's ever had, play more than he's ever had. This was a great find in the 3rd round. I'm going to give this pick an A. Moving on to the 4th round.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
4th rounders, and we picked all of them. But the first one at pick 110, Daniel Falele, offensive tackle from Minnesota. 6'8" tackle who now is playing right guard, but was drafted as a tackle, played backup tackle for us. He barely played.
Ravens fans know how frustrating he was last year, bro. Like, real talk. I hope he does not start this year. I would rather have Ben Cleveland out there than Daniel Falele. He was like the definition of being big for nothing last year.
In 2022, he had 1 start,
like, bro.
And by 2024,
now he did kind of, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh,
15 games.
He did kind of get better down the stretch of the season.
He's a huge
but
guy.
I don't know how much faith I really have in
him. I think he's probably going to be the Ravens' starting right guard again this upcoming season. We'll see. I hope they add more.
That's pretty much our only real weakness right now is that right guard spot.
Falele is going to be the right guard. He's voted in as a Pro Bowl alternate too, which is kind of crazy. Preston's going to
go
be
back.
The right guard.
He a maul in the run game though, but in pass, bro, a little iffy. But
he's voted in as a Pro Bowl alternate too, which is kind of crazy. But I still think he has limitations. He just doesn't use his size to his advantage. He needs to play pissed off and confident.
Exactly why I said he's big for nothing.
He'd be able to move people, man. He would really be able to make a difference. And hopefully, if he is a starting right guard for the Ravens, we see a leap this year. But last year, up and down at starting right guard. But the fact that the Ravens took a developmental tackle in the 4th round and used him as a backup for a few years, and then he ends up winning the starting right guard job for pretty much the entire season, and you find that production in the 4th round, set it up being a pretty good pick. You know, I'm not saying Falele's an incredible starter, and we'll see how his career progresses. He just had his first season at right guard, so hopefully it's only up from here. But I think finding a starter or at least this kind of value in the 4th round is a good thing. So I think I'm going to give this pick a B. I don't think this is a bad pick. I mean, if we would have drafted Falele in the 1st or 2nd round, it would have been a much lower grade. But finding this quality in the 4th round, the fact that we are able to even have a starter on the offensive line, whether we could upgrade or not, it's a different discussion, but I think this is good value for a 4th round pick. Next pick in the 4th round at pick 119, the Ravens drafted Jalen Armour-Davis, quarterback from Alabama.
And at the time of this, as an Alabama fan, I love this pick. but he has not been able to stay healthy, bro. He's not been able to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? And when he's been on the field, when he's been able to stay healthy, he's had his ups and downs, bro. You know, this I really don't know how to grade this pick either. I'm gonna give it a buck.
Pretty much battled injuries his entire time with Baltimore. He played in 4 games in 2022. He had 6 tackles. He played in 8 games in 2023. He had 8 tackles. Never was he a starter or even a guy who got a high percentage of snaps. In 2024, this past year, he appeared in 10 games, basically just as a depth piece, a rotation piece. He had 12 tackles and is still trying to find a consistent role in this secondary that is continuously becoming more crowded year after year. I think this is probably Jalyn Armour-Davis's last chance this season to even make the team. He's got to stay healthy for one. He's battled injuries pretty much every single season, which doesn't help with building coaches' confidence and getting out there on the field. But just to be heading into year 4 and still not have a role at all is definitely concerning. I would say this pick has not worked out thus far. We'll see if he ends up making the roster this year and potentially, you know, taking a big leap and breaking out and finding a role in this team. I don't have a lot of confidence in that as we stand here right now. So I'm going to give this draft pick a D. Next pick in the 4th round at pick 128, we drafted Charlie Kolar.
Hey, Charlie Kolar's been solid, bro.
Charlie Kolar,
he's been solid.
Ravens' 3rd tight end.
I'll get us a C.
He had a limited role
C or B, because he's our 3rd tight end, but he's been really good when his name has been called.
87 yards and a touchdown. 2024, he emerged as a reliable blocker and, you know, an occasional receiving tight end, but he had 12 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's definitely in more of a blocking role for the Ravens right now, but he thrives in that. I think Charlie Kolar does have value and adds to this tight end room. The Ravens tight end room is stacked, and we haven't even got to a tight end that they also drafted in this.
Oh yeah, bro, I forgot we did draft both of them in the same draft class. It's crazy we took Kolar before we took Likely, bro.
Charlie Kolar's been a solid pick. I don't think it
But like, we just really needed a blocking tight end after Nick Boyle left. So
good depth tight end. I don't think he'll ever start for the Ravens, but he's definitely a piece that brings value, especially in the blocking game. I think he helps the run game tremendously, especially with some of our O-line struggles. Charlie Kolar has been a rock in blocking and is getting better and better as a receiving tight end. So I'm going to grade this draft pick a C+.
Okay,
I think Charlie Kolar's still young. If he keeps becoming a better and better receiver and gets some more playing time, whether it be here or somewhere else, he could definitely increase that. It's not a bad pick for the 4th round, but he is the Ravens' 3rd tight end, and there's a better tight end that they drafted coming up here soon. The next pick in the 4th round at pick 130, the Ravens drafted Jordan Stout.
Stout been really good,
Stout
bro.
took Ravens full-time punter ever since, so he still is the Ravens punter. I definitely don't think this is a bad pick. We obviously needed a punter to replace Sam Cook. I don't think Jordan Stout has equaled what Sam Cook has brought to the Ravens. I think that Jordan Stout's definitely had
Sam Cook he gonna go in the fucking Ring of Honor, bro.
Been worth, in my opinion, drafting a player in the 4th round that's a punter. I don't think he's made that much of a difference to take a guy in the 4th round. I mean, this was basically the top punter taken, and the Ravens reached a bit, you know, to get a punter. And he does have a super strong leg. I think he can kick field goals too. So he's versatile, and he's still young in his career. I think he can work on his punting game and become a lot better. I'm not saying the Ravens are about to move on from him or anything, but when you think of drafting a special teams guy like a kicker or punter in the middle rounds of the draft, the 4th round, you want that guy to be a freak, be like one of the best punters in the league. And at this point, we haven't seen Jordan Stout become that. You know, he's been kind of middle of the road when it comes to, at least statistically. So right now, I'm grading the Jordan Stout draft pick a C. I think he definitely could rise, but for being a 4th round pick, I don't think he's, you know, blown anyone away enough so far. He is a consistent starter in the NFL, so that's obviously a great thing, but we drafted him in the 4th round. I want top 5 punter in the league. If you're drafting a punter in the 4th round.
Like the thing with us though, bro, we don't really punt for real. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, was probably the most historic offense in NFL history. Like, real talk. We were barely punting the ball, but we were always scoring touchdowns. And if we weren't scoring touchdowns, we were kicking field goals. Like, so we barely punt, so, you know.
And Jordan Stout hasn't quite got there yet, but we'll see. The next pick in the 4th round at pick 139, the Ravens drafted Isaiah Likely, tight end.
It's a A. I don't care what nobody say. This a A, bro.
An incredible.
He might be tight end 1 this year.
For the end of the 4th round, Likely is now the Ravens' 2nd tight end. Arguably could be the Ravens' number 1 tight end and could be this season. We'll see. I think he definitely becomes the Ravens' number 1 tight end next season if they move on from Mark Andrews. Like,
Mark going into a final year of his deal too.
Likely played in 16 games, 36 catches, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns. 2023 played all 17 games, 20 catches, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. 2024 he broke out. 40 catches, 450 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And this is all while technically being behind Mark Andrews. He's had a few games where Mark Andrews missed, and he really stepped up and went off. But most of the games, he's the 2nd tight end because Mark Andrews is still out there. So Mark Andrews taking a lot of catches and touchdowns away. Likely's putting these numbers up as the number 2 tight end. And if you watch Isaiah Likely on tape, you know this guy flashes. This guy jumps off the screen. He makes plays. He consistently gets open. He runs smooth, man. He is a smooth runner. Can get separation. Can go up and make
like, bro. And I heard, bro. I saw somebody say that Mark Andrews is better than Isaiah Likely in blocking. Yeah, nigga. I don't know what Ravens game you've been watching, but no, Likely is way far better than Mark in, you know what I'm saying, in blocking, bro. Even in catching, like, Likely got better hands than Mark.
An incredible draft pick for the Ravens, especially
I don't think I've seen
value at the end of the 4th round.
I don't think I've seen Likely drop a ball, bro.
This type of value.
Bro, Likely did not have to do him like that, gang. That is so disrespectful.
So I'm giving
bounce up like a basketball.
I think this can move up to an A+ once Isaiah Likely becomes the starter. Let's say we move on from Mark next year, let him go to another team in free agency, get a comp pick, and we extend Isaiah Likely, and he's our number 1 tight end, and he thrives like I know he will.
We got a lot of players to extend, bro.
To find value like this in the 4th round is crazy. The only reason it's not an A+ right now is
crazy next couple of years.
But when he becomes a starter, can put up 1,000 yards and have 10 touchdowns.
Hey, his first year starting, he gonna put up 1,000 yards, bro. I can already see it
that way. Right now, I'm giving it A. Great value in the 4th round. The last pick in the 4th round at pick 141, the Ravens took Demarion Pepe Williams.
I don't even think he's even on the roster anymore.
Pepe honestly saw most of his success in his rookie season. He played in 14 games, had 13 tackles, and then saw limited action in 2023. He only played in 3 games, had 2 tackles due to injuries. He's a smaller corner. He ended up getting waived by the Ravens at the end of August. I think he signed with Seattle's practice squad in October, but he's no longer on the Ravens team. This was someone who had a lot of potential. He was making some splash plays his rookie season, but then he battled with injuries, and I think he was just too small. So he just never really found a role with the Ravens, and the fact that he ended up getting cut, I'm going to give this draft pick a D grade. I think in the 4th round, we could have obviously found better value there. Jalen Armour.
Was this the draft class we drafted Caillou Blue-Kelly as well? He no longer a Raven.
He's more of the prototypical build
that
of a Ravens
been
corner.
Far
He's
gone.
bigger, physical, but he also has struggled to find a role and stay on the field and might not make the team this year. Pepe didn't make the team last year. This pick just really didn't work out for being a 4th round draft pick. Moving on to the Ravens' last pick of the draft. They did not have a 5th round pick or a 7th round pick, but in round 6 at pick number 196, they drafted Tyler Beatty.
Oh, Tyler Beatty.
Missouri.
He ain't even on the team anymore. He on the Broncos, I believe.
He only played in
I think Caillou Blue-Kelly, we drafted him the previous year of this draft.
In 2023, he joined the Denver Broncos, ended up having an injury there, but never stuck with the Ravens, never found any.
It's definitely F, I ain't gonna lie.
6th round pick ended
I think we were always just trying to find like a reliable running back 3, you know what I'm saying? But we ended up finding that in Keaton Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? But
any value to the Ravens at all.
It's all good,
and
bro.
I'm going to give
It's
this
all
a
good.
D-. So
It's
that
all
wraps up the
good.
2022 class. Pretty stacked class. We had 11 picks, and I feel like we hit on quite a bit of them. You're never going to hit on all the draft picks, but that fourth round.
I can't wait for
was
our
kinda
draft
crazy.
this year, bro.
I know we had the Pepe Williams, Jalen Armour Davis picks, which really didn't pan out, but grabbing Charlie Kohler and Isaiah Likely, who provide great tight end depth, and I think Isaiah Likely could be a star tight end in this league. To find him in the fourth round is great value. Getting Travis Jones in the third round is great value. I mean, this guy's going to be one of the best D linemen in the league. I'm telling you, his strength is unmatched. And then hitting home run draft picks in the first round, franchise-changing guys with Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Linderbaum. I think this overall draft went really, really well. And gets me excited for this draft coming up because we also have 11 picks and a lot of opportunity to add a lot of juice to this Ravens roster that's already stacked. But let me know what you guys are thinking about this draft class, these draft grades. Let me know what your draft grades are. And I'll do the 2021 draft class next and just keep on going.
This was 2021. Wait, when did we draft? When did we draft by Kyu Blu Kelly? Was that 2023? That might have been 2023. I ain't gonna lie, that might have been 2023. But Bate probably gonna be like, he'll probably be like a B+ or A. You know what I'm saying? Cause he been just dealing with injuries. You know what I'm saying? He finally was able to stay healthy. So you know what I'm saying? That's a big plus. Owe probably around like the B's as well. Ben Cleveland probably like a D. Stevens. He was good for like one season, and then just last year, bro, that nigga was Hitler. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna give this a D. Tylen, he's been really good when his name has been called. You know what I'm saying, especially on special teams. I'm gonna give this probably a B-. Probably B-. Shaun Wade, I don't even think he even made it to the final roster, bro. You know, we ended up trading him to the Patriots. Dalen Hayes was never healthy. And Ben Mason, he was just a backup fullback. I ain't gonna lie. So this was maybe like a F or D. You know what I'm saying? Dalen Hayes is probably around a D. This is an F because he never really even touched the field in the regular season for us. But, hey man, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos you want me to react to. Without further ado, I'm out. Yeah.
I'ma make them feel me, make them people when they chow me. And if you don't know me, I'ma make sure that you know me. I hate to say it, but I really think I'm broke. But I know I'm chosen, I really know I'm chosen. I know I'm chosen. I was just lost a year ago, but now I'm focused. When good at sports, this microphone can be my trophy. Not taking drugs, I found a better way of coping.